The recent showdown between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese was nothing short of intense, sparking a whirlwind of emotions on the court. In their latest matchup, Reese, no stranger to high-stakes battles with Clark, struck her opponent hard across the head while attempting to block a layup. This led to a flagrant foul, and Reese being benched a moment that highlighted the physicality and pressure Clark endures in the WNBA. But what stood out was Clark's composure in the heat of the moment. Despite the chaos swirling around her both on and off the court, she remained focused, calmly sinking her free throws. This incident is a stark reminder of the heavy expectations and challenges Clark faces as she navigates the early stages of her professional career. The physical toll, combined with the relentless scrutiny from social media and the broader public, has made her journey anything but easy. Yet, through it all, Caitlin Clark continues to emphasize the importance of mental health, reminding us that even the brightest stars need support and time to recharge. The Indiana Fever is at a pivotal moment, seriously considering bringing in someone of Cheryl Miller's caliber. With the Olympic break offering a perfect window, now is the time for bold changes. This break provides a unique opportunity to implement a new system without the pressure of regular games. But it's not just about who's in charge. The Fever needs to take a hard look at their roster and make strategic moves that could bolster their lineup. New additions could give Caitlin Clark the support she needs on the court, allowing her to shine even brighter. Speaking of Clark, the Fever must have a clear plan to maximize her talent. This involves not just managing her minutes to prevent exhaustion, but also crafting an offensive strategy that leverages her exceptional passing and shooting skills. However, the focus shouldn't solely be on Clark. Developing other talented players like Aaliyah Boston is crucial for the team's success. The Fever needs to find a balance between giving Clark the protagonism she deserves and nurturing the other key players on the roster. Another critical aspect is the team's culture. There's growing frustration among the players with the current management, and this needs to be addressed head-on. Creating an environment where their stars feel valued and supported is essential for long-term success. Finally, the Fever must think long-term. Caitlin Clark is a franchise player with the potential to lead this team for years, but for that to happen, she needs to see that the team is committed to building a title contender around her. If the Fever makes the right decisions, we could witness a complete transformation in the second half of the season. Imagine a well-rested Clark, an efficient new tactical system, and the right supporting pieces. This team could not only enter the playoffs with momentum, but also surprise many and make a serious title run. The question is, will the Fever seize this opportunity to reinvent themselves? Will Clark return to the court more determined than ever? As basketball fans, this is the kind of moment we live for. Anything can happen, and we'll be here to follow every step. Caitlin Clark is undeniably in the midst of a historic run, not just for her team, but for women's basketball as a whole. The excitement surrounding her extends far beyond the court, as ticket prices for women's games have skyrocketed, surpassing men's ticket prices by over 50%. This surge reflects the immense demand to witness Clark's brilliance firsthand. Wherever she goes, fans follow, creating a wave of business opportunities, from small local shops to large corporations eager to meet the demand for Clark memorabilia. The situation becomes even more complex when considering the statements of figures like Colin Cowherd and Joy Taylor. They highlight that Clark's exclusion from Team USA isn't just a missed opportunity for the sport, but a potentially damaging decision for its growth. Cowherd draws parallels to how the NBA capitalized on stars like Magic Johnson and Larry Bird, suggesting that Clark could similarly elevate women's basketball to new heights. Despite these controversies, Clark remains the clear frontrunner for Rookie of the Year. Her performance has been nothing short of phenomenal, dominating nearly every major statistical category and setting new standards for first-year WNBA players. Yet, her success has also sparked tension, particularly with figures like Cheryl Reese, coach of both the Minnesota Lynx and Team USA, whose silence on Clark's performance has fueled speculation about deeper issues within the sport. Angel Reese of the Chicago Sky is having a standout season, recognized for her physical play and skill in the paint, leading all rookies in rebounds. Some fans and analysts argue that Reese's contributions, although less flashy than Caitlin Clark's, deserve more recognition. This debate has even sparked controversial suggestions, like splitting the Rookie of the Year award between Clark and Reese. However, many critics argue that doing so would devalue the award and ignore Clark's clear statistical advantage. The Rookie of the Year discussion highlights a larger tension within the league. While many are impressed with Clark's talent, some veterans express concerns about the disproportionate attention she receives. There's a sense among certain players that the intense focus on Clark might be overshadowing other stories and talents in the league. A'ja Wilson, the current MVP and one of the most respected voices in the WNBA, acknowledged Clark's impact, but emphasized the importance of celebrating all players who are raising the level of the game. This situation puts the WNBA in a delicate position. On one hand, the hype surrounding Clark is bringing unprecedented attention to the league. On the other hand, there's a genuine concern about maintaining balance and ensuring that other talented players are not left out of the season's narrative. As the Rookie of the Year debate continues, a larger question looms over the league. How will all this drama affect Team USA's formation for upcoming international competitions? Caitlin Clark's exceptional performance in the WNBA has led many fans and analysts to expect her to represent the American team. However, Cheryl Reeves' apparent reluctance to comment on Clark raises some concerning questions. Recently, Team USA had an underwhelming performance in the WNBA All-Star Game, allowing over 60 points in the paint and showing defensive weaknesses. This disappointing performance has increased scrutiny over Reeves and the selection committee's choices. Clark's ability to create plays, shoot from long distance, and elevate her teammates seems to align perfectly with the international style of play. However, her inexperience in international competitions could be seen as a risk factor. There are also political and marketing considerations. Clark has proven to be a media sensation, capable of attracting new fans and increasing interest in women's basketball. Her inclusion in Team USA could bring unprecedented attention to the team in international competitions. On the other hand, established veterans and regular Team USA members might feel threatened by this new wave of talent. Balancing experience with the potential of new talents is a challenge that Reeves and the selection committee face. The final decision on Team USA's composition will have implications beyond the courts. It will send a message about the values and priorities of American women's basketball. Will the team opt for a more conservative approach, relying on experienced players, or will it embrace the wave of change represented by Clark and other standout rookies? Caitlin Clark is literally changing the game both on and off the court. The energy when Clark is on the court is incredible. Fans are packing arenas, many of them wearing the Indiana Fever's number 22 jersey. This isn't just happening at home games. Even when the Fever plays away, the crowd goes wild every time Clark touches the ball. It's like every game is a special event. But the Clark phenomenon doesn't stop in the stands. The WNBA is seeing a significant increase in TV viewership and social media engagement. A recent All-Star Game broke viewership records, reaching 3.34 million viewers. And it's no coincidence that Clark was in the spotlight. This surge in interest is having a ripple effect. The league is now in a stronger position to negotiate new media rights, which could mean more exposure and, crucially, more revenue for the WNBA and its players. Speaking of revenue, Clark is already proving her value off the court as well. She recently signed a significant deal with Nike, a move that not only benefits Clark, but also elevates the profile of the entire league. This is opening doors for other players to secure better contracts and sponsorships. The Clark effect is also influencing the league's future. The WNBA announced plans for 2 new expansion teams in the next 2 years. This decision is not isolated. It's a direct reflection of the growth and renewed interest that players like Clark are bringing to the sport. Perhaps the most profound impact of Clark is inspiring the next generation. Young basketball players now have a new star to look up to, someone who's proving it's possible to dominate the game with skill, intelligence. However, Clark's meteoric rise hasn't come without its share of controversies. During the ESPY Awards, Serena Williams made a controversial joke about Clark, insinuating that only white people are fans of the rookie sensation. While some found the joke humorous, others saw it as divisive and counterproductive, given Clark's diverse fan base and her role in elevating the league's popularity. The tension between Clark's rapid rise and the established order was also evident in the WNBA All-Star Game, where Clark and Angel Reese shined, despite their standout performances. There's a growing concern about how these rookies will fit into the broader narrative of American women's basketball. especially as the team prepares for the Olympics. In the end, the WNBA and Team USA are at a crossroads. The decisions made in the coming months will not only affect the immediate future of the league, but also set the tone for how the sport evolves on a global stage. As the drama unfolds, one thing is clear. Caitlin Clark is not just a player. She's a phenomenon that's challenging the status quo and reshaping the future of women's basketball.